Tonight on the Cooligans, we are discussing deadline day, all the crazy transfers that happened over the last few hours. We're talking about the craziness of the Premier League. Everton at the top, as we all predicted. Nothing to see here. Keep it moving. And we talk about some of the U.S. men's national team players that are thriving out in Europe.
Plus, we also talk to Heems, rapper, soccer fan. We talk about some of the comparisons between the rap game, the soccer game, and how he even got to soccer, that and more. Today on the Cooligans! Yeah, baby!
Let's go. Let's get the energy high. Oh, all right. All right, you sound a little bit like Busta Rhymes on that one.
Okay. Yo, transfer deadline day, breaking news. I'm transferring Christian for nutmeg. It's over.
Okay, Fabrizio Romano is on it. He's on the case. He has confirmed it all.
That's right. We're going to put nutmeg in the Gunnosaurus suit. It's going to get so goddamn cute.
You know what? That's the thing. Dogs need a job. They need a purpose. All right, so it's going to work out.
They're just sitting around licking themselves, bruh. My mom told me not to do that.
Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Cooligans. My name is Christian Polanco.
Yay, and I'm Alexis Guerreros.
Okay, all right, really, Alexis, really with the throwback. Yay, okay.
I don't know. You reminded me of Busta Rhymes. That threw me all the way to West Coast.
West Coast doing everything. Welcome to the show, everybody. We are the Cooligans. We are your favorite stand-up comedians that host the funniest soccer show that you have ever witnessed.
That's right. It's also the gulliest.
That's right. Okay.
Speaking of throwbacks.
And yes, it's been a crazy. It's been a crazy weekend in soccer. It's been a crazy weekend in our personal lives. It's been a crazy weekend in DC. Not simply because of the L's that DC United has taken, but
seems like the L's are contagious.
The L's are infectious out there, bro. You gotta be careful. You gotta
super spreading out there.
Oh boy. Anyway, not to get too political, but
okay, we're talking DC United. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
Okay, we're just trying to wish thoughts and prayers to DC United. That's all we're doing. Anyway, so obviously a lot happened in MLS. A lot happened in not only I went to a comedy show.
Yeah, that's
Alexis,
right. And I was there.
You were there. There was an outdoor comedy show, which is starting. They're starting to pop up. The last couple months.
This one's actually run by Christina Hutchinson and this woman called Di Guerreros.
This woman called, that is her full name. This woman called Di Guerreros.
You put some respect on it. Say the whole title. So, of course, I'm there showing support. That's my boo. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was there for the first one. Now I'm just helping support what you need. Is anybody getting out of line?
Yeah.
Is that Turtle in the audience? You know what I mean? A lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. So, and the show, is it? How's it pronounced? New York? Is that what
it's just New York.
Okay.
NUNY, basically. It's just her and Christina Hutchinson, who you guys might know from Guys We podcast.
I was like, did Fubo do that? Wow.
Damn, that's quick. They got an Alexis button already. Guys We boop podcast. And they're good friends, and she wanted to put on a show, and Dee was like, yo, I know a spot. It's in conjunction with a cafe nearby. Maybe they got permits or they don't, but whatever, it happens on the street. Maybe Alexis was a little influential there. And I'm like, what you mean government? We do what we want. It's the new York.
Yeah, the head of the government got the Rona. We're gonna just keep it moving.
Yo, we good.
Regulations.
Do whatever you want. So, I go there and, oh my God, I see Christian. But I didn't know it was you at first. Because I'm like, Christian didn't have no baby. What's this stroller he pushing?
I got a lot of secrets.
Oh, no. Does he have his dog in a stroller right now?
Yes.
On the streets of New York? Just like shit sweet.
Yeah, bro. It's just like you got to go. The dog in the stroller is the new, wearing dudes wearing pink. You know what I mean? You just got to go confidently. And if anybody says anything, that's on you.
That's on you, fam.
That's your toxic masculinity really at play right now. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, if anything, you're putting a vibe on my dog that I'm not setting in this beautiful canopy I've secured for him.
Yeah. So we went to the comedy shop, but we have the dog. So the dog obviously has to sleep. Nutmeg has to sleep all the time. So we figured, all right, we'll bring the stroller, which is it's my girlfriend's sister's stroller.
And just to confirm, you're not even remotely embarrassed about this, right? Just not even slightly.
Wait, if we had to get out of the house somehow, the stroller was one of the conditions. You got to do what you got to do to survive. Okay, so the answer is no. All right.
Wow.
It is what it is, bro. The 2020 has changed my perception of pretty much everything.
Then I had a show after that. My sister came to that one, and we took a photo, and I was like, how great would it be if there was a stroller nearby that you could hop in? I could have my sister peeking out of a stroller and be like, look what happened. And she was like, I ain't getting no damn stroller. And I'm like, it'll be funny. And
it worked. It worked out. He wasn't too disruptive, but yeah. We had him in the stroller. Look, he was a hit. How many people came up to Nutmeg like, hey, oh my God, he's so cute, losing their minds?
Look, in no way, shape, or form would I ever suggest that this dog is not an attention grabber. You know what I mean? Enough so that you may not have been a little embarrassed. I was a little jealous, to be completely honest with you. I'm like, they could push me around in a stroller. Seems nice. I can have chips all around me. You know?
Yeah, it was. Look, this is my new life, Alexis.
I brought my scooter, and no one cared about the scooter because we had a dog in a damn.
Yeah, I mean, we should. I feel like we both have reasons to be a little bit embarrassed. All right,
embarrassed. I've got a New York City cheat code. I go to the front of every red light. I don't know what you're talking about.
So Nutmeg was a hit, and but it was his first comedy show, and he got to. It was your wife's comedy show, so he blessed. New York with his presence.
Now it's going to be successful because of that.
Okay, he went up, he put his paw, he went like this, he gave a little.
He took a little pee and he splashed it like holy water.
Okay, I don't know where he learned this. All this religious stuff, but hey. More power to him.
It's very papal-like. I don't know the term. Pupple? People have no clue that it's deadline day, and it's just after deadline day, because we're sitting here talking about a pup.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of those moves very quickly. Obviously, the top story was Nutmeg going to a comedy show, and people are like,
Sky
yes,
Sports are on the ticker.
They're like, thank you for getting to that, because I couldn't have waited in the next segment for that. So we're taping this literally on deadline day. So Thomas Partey to Arsenal. That's what we're
not confirmed. Seems to be working.
Yeah, that they're going to pay the release clause.
Yeah.
But it looks like
now they're chatting.
Yeah. So
having a little conversation.
Okay, about who's gonna exchanging a couple millions of dollars, just a quick little chat over text. It's millions of dollars. Just
WhatsApp has a lot of features, bro. You don't know.
Does Venmo allow that much?
I know. You take Cash App, or what do they have out there? Do you take the Quid app?
Matteo, right? Guendouzi?
Yeah, Matteo Guendouzi is going to
Hertha Berlin,
which, by the way, people don't know, I think is my club in Germany. I think I might have picked it one day, and I just haven't followed up. But hey, how about that? Stays in the family.
Yeah, Chris Smalling staying in Roma. He was obviously on loan, and then we'll get to a bunch of other stuff, obviously. But Serginho Dest's first minutes for Barcelona, a lot to look forward to when it comes to just deadline day talk and some U.S. men's national team players getting some shine out in Europe. So a lot to look forward to. All right, so we'll be back with more after this.
What's up, guys? Landon Donovan here, and I got to kick it with the Cooligans today. Keep following, keep listening, keep watching. See you guys soon.
All right, welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC, and make sure to stick around because we will be talking to rapper Heems. You remember him from Das Racist. He'll be back he'll be on the show in a moment. Okay. Let's get to a couple things, especially in the Prem, right? Because Everton, first place. Aston Villa, second place. isn't a shock to anyone.
Manchester United 16th, if I'm not mistaken.
Where they belong.
Can we just flip this? What happened? 2020 is absolutely insane, and it doesn't stop. Everton look like world beaters.
This was a surprise too. They won their last match, even though they didn't have Richarlison got hurt during the game, and Allen was unavailable due to a groin injury.
Yeah, but Decore looks so good.
Decore does look pretty good, and Hamas looking great as well.
I mean, find me a time when Hamas hasn't looked great.
Okay, he looks good on the pitch, off the pitch, in the shower. Okay,
you know what I mean?
bro, I'm
in my
sweating.
dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all of a sudden I'm parched. Okay,
right? Think about it. He moved his hips. They all did the Tofeteros dance.
That's right. After Yeremina scored,
right?
Look, you love to see the Colombian influence being brought to these Evertonians.
Okay, everyone get a cafecito before we get out there. We're doing some dancing.
Look, I'm not used to watching these. You know, it was who was it that was dancing? It was obviously Mina. It was James. It was Lucas Digne
and Dominic
Calvert-Lewin. So it's like
who got moves?
He got moves.
Digne's hips. Need a little oil. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin's like, yo, Papa came prepared. I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
He's French, clearly. Look, this influx of all these Colombians might be a little jarring to him.
Right.
But Dominic Calvert-Lewin was just like, all good. He's like,
baby, I've been going to Jamaica house parties since I was a kid. I'm prepared, Papa.
Nah, super cool, man. I can't believe it either, man. I cannot believe Everton Football Club are sitting in first place, and not even temporary for the week. These are final results. They are in first place until the following after the 2-week break.
For 10 days.
For 10 days. Yo, we're chilling.
Everton at the top. Easy. Arsenal in first, which is fourth, if you guys are keeping track. We good. We home, baby.
You first of the last Champions League spot.
Fam,
so
that's our spot. Don't even try to take it.
But the next match for Everton is against Liverpool, who just lost 7-2.
Fam, no,
against Aston Villa.
They didn't lose. They got destroyed. Which means either they're ripe for the picking, because they're all discombobulated, or they're going to destroy Everton in an effort to save face.
Yeah, it's not going to be 1-1. It's going to be another 7-2 result.
He could be making changes in the 92nd minute trying to get more goals. Klopp is like, get in there. I need to fix this.
I don't know what the should we? I don't know. I'm not as concerned about Liverpool as I am probably for Manchester United, who lost 6-2 against Tottenham. That was
6-1.
6-1.
I believe it was 6-1. Yeah,
6-1. Yeah.
Which
that was.
It hurts because I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't want to see Tottenham succeed. I don't want to see them happy. You know what I mean? But you hurt an enemy, so it was kind of cool.
You gotta at this point you gotta sound the alarm for Manchester United. They are,
and they did. They're buying everybody. They bought Edison Cavani. They bought Tellez. They're trying to fix this with money.
Are these confirmed though? See, these again.
They are. As we hear, they've been confirmed, which it's not like the club has come out and said it, but everything is already set in stone. There's photos of Cavani already taking his promo pictures. So for the most part, this seems confirmed. But somebody leaked this. Manchester United spent over £800 million. They're in £800 million in debt. 800 million. That's almost $1 billion if I've done the math correctly.
I cannot believe it seems like I was watching a clip from ESPN FC and they were just talking about like Jadon Sancho and like how come it didn't work out and whatever. But really, the question is,
cable. He can see. He's like, I ain't trying to join that.
I got Peacock. I can see this. All right,
I'm looking. Not fair. I
can afford this subscription service, and I see what's going on.
He's happily married, very nice, relaxed home. All of a sudden, right, he starts to get an eye for this other lady. Starts looking at her Instagram. He's like, oh, this. She a mess. Maybe I'm just better off at home. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. It's like, you know what? I realize I can't be without you, girl.
I need you, baby girl. I'm sorry I sent those texts.
Oh my goodness. So yes, again, we have Heems coming up, so make sure to stick around. All right, we'll be back, everybody.
Back on the Cooligans Living Room FC, and don't forget, really soon we're going to have Heems on the show. I'm wildly excited. Huge fan of Heems. Neighbor Jackets, great mixtape, so it's going to be dope. You excited, Christian?
I'm quite excited.
Well, yes, you should be.
Okay.
You know what else is very exciting is one of the things that I absolutely love on the show. We're about to do an unboxing.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Although it's actually like an zip-locking, which I'm even more excited about.
An unbagging. Yes, we got an illustrious gift from the Flock this time around for obviously the Ford
Usually
Madison
clubs
supporters.
Send us gifts, but this is actually from the supporters.
Yeah, I mean, no, we get gifts from look, we accept gifts from anyone, okay?
Oh, yeah,
from
no.
multinational corporations to some dude on the street.
Dictators. Send us a gift. We'll talk about it.
Okay. But no, shout out to the Fort Madison Flock. Oh, I had it upside down. There you go.
Hilarious.
Boom. We got a patch, we got a koozie, a bunch of stickers, which is super cool. And this is what I love about Fort Madison in general is that their supporters group. Obviously, the team hasn't been around that long, but they are very, very inclusive. LGBT. We got an anti-racism sticker.
Let's go.
You know, Featherstone flamingos as well, which highlights the black supporters in the group. A bunch of them. The lady mingos. We got them all. This is great. So I love appreciate the support. We got a shirt and a scarf there.
Look how nice this scarf is, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you saw this at the mall, you'd be like, yeah, all right, I'm going to get that.
Mom, buy me one. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to the mall with our moms, dude.
Okay. And I will make a scene in the store if you do not buy
Your mom's
me
like,
one.
we have one at home. No, we don't. Stop lying.
So thank you so much. So shouts to
But also,
Flock.
check out this jacket, dog.
Yeah, Alexis, you got a jacket.
Yeah, I think it's because they don't make a lot of stuff in XXL, but
And
they
they were
got
like,
it. Look at this. Look at the artwork.
Okay, this is incredible. Yeah, so thank you so much. Shout out to the Flock. Thank you. So this was sent to us by Andrew Schmidt. And I just want to read the letter real quick. It says, Alexis and Christian, thanks for the laughs and all you do for the soccer community. Hope to hang in Madison once all this COVID mess is over. Andrew and the Flock fam. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Beautiful.
Appreciate. Thank you. We are huge fans of Forward Madison, the Forward Madison supporters. So thank you for supporting us as well. All right. We have Heems coming up, everybody. Rapper Heems. So come right back.
Baby, we're back on the Cooligans Living Room FC, and this is an absolute honor. Christian, we were talking a little bit off air about how, we're in comedy, but we kind of have met this dude before, kind of loosely, or at least been in his presence.
Correct. Yeah. And when it came to when I started doing stand up, I saw this dude at a lot of comedy shows. He would be like his group would be the musical act on a lot of these shows. So
right. And we're like, yo, get out of our lane, bruh. No, this dude absolutely hilarious. Incredible rapper. You might know him from Das Races. You might know him from his mixtape Neighbor Jackets. Also, the two mixtapes they dropped was Shut Up Dude and Sit Down Man were both said at the debate. So it's cool that you got a plug during the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, unless you're driving, put your hands together for the one, the only Queens rap legend, Himanshu Suri, everybody.
Yo.
Heems, what's good, man?
What's going on?
Dude, honored to have you on the show. Like I was saying up top, you are a familiar face. I would see you regularly at comedy shows. So Das Racist. If people may not be aware, or maybe they do not remember, obviously the hit song at the time was combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
Yeah.
This was took Brooklyn by storm. Okay, everybody lost their minds when this track came out, and then Das Racist became more popular. More people knew about you. So I'm curious about just like that connection, because I know one of the members, Ashok Kandabalu, is the brother of Hari Kondabolu, who's a friend of ours who I've done. He's a stand-up comedian, done shows with him, and then so I'm assuming that was the connection. Ashok was the door into comedy.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it was interesting because we also saw, like, I saw Hari being his younger brother's best friend from high school. You know how he kind of progressed in comedy, and through him, I guess we would start going to shows and start meeting people, but we also kind of had our own banter on. But some of the funniest shit I've seen Hari do was just like hanging out at his house, with his brother, with his mom around, like watching sports on mute, doing impressions of, what they might be saying and stuff. And so that was like 20 years ago, maybe. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and, I think we were talking about this a little bit before about how athletes kind of want to be like musicians want to be athletes. But those worlds of like comedy and music and even sports now have been kind of, intermingling for a while. So it's cool that, we get to kind of reconnect like this,
It's like, the process of being on stage is something that, unless you do it often, no one else really understands. So I think that's where some of the camaraderie between comedians and musicians come from, is the fact that you're in front of an audience that's entertained by what you're doing. We're, hopefully, if we're doing it correctly, are in front of an audience that's entertained by what we're doing. So, like, it ticks off in our brain that we want to be there. But, of course, like every comedian, I would love to grab a mic and just drop bars. You know what I mean? Not even have to tell the jokes. When you guys weren't necessarily considered a comedic act, but you had – comedy was a big part of, or being funny or being sarcastic, ironic, silly in a way, was kind of a part of the draw of Das Racist. And a lot of the music that I think you've sort of inspired, especially with that group. Was that always conscious, or that was your banter? That was just who you guys were?
Yeah, I mean, that was just kind of how we came up. I mean, me and Ashok in high school, in New York at Sci, always just kind of had a weird sense of humor about race and the shit that we had seen. And it was a lot of times using humor to kind of deflect from other shit going on. And so that kind of is how our just like comedic taste and style developed. And when it came to like recording in a booth, it was kind of like a little bit of that green room banter before a comedy show, when it's going well, when it's like you like the people there, not when it's like shut the up, I'm trying to like, get in my zone and stuff. But, it was about bringing that kind of like banter to a record, like performative kick in it. Whether that's watching sports or making your friends laugh or throwing bars around.
Yeah, you guys were at the shows I had been to were always super fun. I'm curious about what was your life like at the time? I mean, what's it like to have a hit song, right? To have a hit song.
Viral, basically. Because this was like one of the first viral hits that I remember.
2009, 2010. I forgot exactly when.
It was you guys and a cat playing the piano. You know what I mean?
This
is mega hits.
This is OG meme shit, I suppose, now. Where it's like, I don't understand the way young people use memes. And I'm like, I think I invented one of these motherfuckers back in the day.
Yeah, but I might be involved here. Yeah.
It was terrible. It was a terrible experience.
But is that the Queens you? Because this is the thing about Queens dudes. It's like Queens dudes hate being pulled out of Queens. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, it was terrible because now people want me to be in Manhattan and doing shows when I just want to go to, whatever, get a square at Rose's Pizza, I
just want to hang out in my crib and do weirdo shit, man. I don't need to be going out and doing this. But it was just a weird way to get into an industry that was already having like a weird understanding of like what rap meant at that time. And you had like labels not signing people because they wore skinny jeans, or, how many label meetings I went into where they just scratched their heads like, what is this? And, I think fans and journalists kind of got it a little more, but it was definitely a weird way to bring yourself into like a a medium you actually respect and stuff, because it was so nonchalant. But I think the people that got it, and for what it was and like when it was, and the other songs that came of it, it was all right.
You kind of opened the door for, and maybe you weren't the only one, but there seems to be like you guys were a part of the, oh, you don't have to be so hood to be a rapper kind of sort of mentality where you could be, I don't want to say emo, but you could share your thoughts on whether it be somewhat more geopolitical stuff or how you feel. Was that significant for y'all to do that? I mean, is it because y'all were like, look, we're Indian dudes from Queens? Well, one of the dudes was Latino from San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
But like, so you're like, Cuban? Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, definitely. Afro-Cuban, yeah.
Dallas, that's my grandmother. All right. So, all right, cool. So I'm related to Das Races. I didn't even know that, yo. Let's go. But like when you did that, like you started out, you were kind of like somewhat adjacent to the hip hop of that time. Was that a conscious decision by y'all to be like, look, we're just going to go this other way, or is that just who y'all were?
No, I mean, I think it was kind of who we were, and also just like who was willing to work with us. We were around people in Williamsburg that made like mostly indie rock and kind of, you know, came out of that a little on the first record. The second record, we got people like Boy Wonder and you know, Scoop DeVille and LP and stuff to produce on. So that, you know, I think let us kind of get to more people. But yeah, I think back then I would say there was a conversation on authenticity, like how quote unquote hood you have to be to rap. And I think, you know, we probably lived more in the layer of like internet than necessarily hood or suburb or, you know, class. And I think that's something you see a lot more in rap now, and why, like, you know, rappers from the hood rap about like anime and, you know, video games and stuff where you wouldn't have seen that. So I think it's just a progression of like what people consider their locality to be, you know, how globalized your locality is. Like, you know, Drake making Commonwealth music from Canada, Britain, you know, that's his locality. Yeah. For some rappers, it's the internet. For some rappers, it's your block. And so I think it's just kind of, it's a continuously like changing thing.
Yeah. Rap in a couple years is just gonna be like, yo, it's dope to be a virgin. Stop having sex with people.
Yeah, dude, you totally the other way.
Oh, you having sex? Nah, fam. Nah. That's so 2010.
That's just Kanye West in 2020, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Pretty much. All right, look, we got a lot more with Heems, so come right back after this.
Can we get these guys on the show? Tim Howard, come on the show. We got a bleep button, baby. You know what I mean?
Is that what you think? He has been known to, like, when he gets like...
There was a chant that in Everton.
Yes, that's right.
Tim Taru. He said he's our goalkeeper, and he yells "F you." Well, they don't say "F you," because he would just yell that because he's got Tourette's. You know what I mean? Who cares?
They just,
you know what I mean?
Yes, that's how Europeans show that they are allies. They just create a chant of whatever your most offensive thing.
We're gonna take the thing you're most insecure about, and we're gonna just jam it into a song, and then 800 people standing behind you are gonna sing it in unison, and all of them are drunk, but somehow still remember this quality.
But behind a beat.
Yeah, I mean, if it slaps, it slaps. You know, we don't care. We co-sign anything that slaps. Talk about me being fat. If it goes, it goes.
Welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC. We are here with rapper Heems, and we, you know, this is a soccer show, so we have to discuss your introduction to soccer. I personally don't know. I know that you are. I've seen photos. You supporting Arsenal. You supporting NYCFC. What has been? Let's start with Arsenal. How did that happen? How did you choose Arsenal, and how long have you really been focusing on the sport?
Yeah, the sports, I would say, gets less new to me, like more and more, but it's still new to me, you know? I like the stages for me of like understanding the way leagues work, or understanding like what offsides means versus like what actual structures mean, slowly have begun to kind of happen. But I came into Arsenal like at Wenger out, and, and now I'm here. So it's like the strangest time to, you know, be a supporter. And
20 years straight with the same manager, and you're like, we gotta get more consistent with these managers.
get him out.
It's quite rocky at the moment, but no, that is dope. I mean, when it comes to soccer, especially even in New York, with the comedy community, nobody respects it. Nobody has much. They don't care about it. If you hear comedians talking about the sport, they're making fun of it.
Every once in a while, a comic pulls us aside and says, yo, I'm into soccer too. They like gotta whisper it. They're like afraid to be like outed as soccer fans.
You're like John Oliver, I know.
Yeah. You talk about it all the time, bro.
Yeah.
What about I'm curious about the hip hop community. If there is any real overlap, has there been any? Arsenal is an interesting club because when it comes to let's say the hip hop community, the black community, the grime community in England, that's the cool thing, and a thing I respect about Arsenal is that the fan base is wildly diverse, maybe more than almost any other club in the Premier League. I'm not 100% certain, but that's what it sort of feels like.
I'll let you say that. We'll hold that.
Yeah, I think part of it for me was also like I went to school a little bit and studied at a school called SOAS that was like in Russell Square, School of Oriental and African Studies, and so it was pretty much not too far. Then I lived for like 2 months in Highbury New Park, and then I lived like somewhere in N5 a little bit, and slowly began to like look around, see who my friends in London were, and was like, okay, yeah. So if I have to choose a team, like. It's this one. But prior to that, when I went to school there, it was 2005. I remember like I hung out with South Asian kids that didn't care about sports and like artist kids that did drugs. And there was one dude in the hall and he liked Chelsea. And I already felt so guilty for being a Yankees fan that like from Queens. That was, I can't support another rich club that just like buys their way to success and like ride the wave. So I'm glad in retrospect, I was like, I'm going to put this on hold, put it on ice for 10 years. And then, decide to choose my club. Yeah.
Dude, being a Yankees fan from Queens, I don't know how to explain that to other people except to say, imagine being a Jets fan in Boston. You know what I mean? Or the opposite. Imagine being a New England fan in a Jets house. It's like, or a Yankees fan at Red Sox in Boston. It's like, you can't, like, you're not allowed.
Not unless you grow up with like 18 cousins and they're all Mets fans and it's like 1996 and you're like, wow, I kind of like winning, like this is dope. And I've already like acknowledged, I understand I'm the black sheep at 11. So like, why not just dive in right now and enjoy the next like 8 years,
Yeah.
Actually, let me ask you about this because we talk about this all the time, being comedians and doing a soccer podcast that becomes a TV show, which is after being comedians for over 10 years, we finally have a little respect from our parents or our family. I have a single mother who has been begging me to be a lawyer since I was a child. What did your family say when you were like, yo, we're doing this rap thing and we got a song about a store that's two, food shops in one?
I think people in my family still think I sang songs, like I was a singer,
like Bollywood type,
And then when like rap kind of started popping off in Bollywood a little bit, like 3 years later, like my relatives in India would be like, rapper, like same haircut, same haircut. But no, I mean, they've been supportive at times when it's good for me. It's also just like a difficult career. Y'all know, like being on the road and being up there and performing and stuff. So I think my parents are also cognizant of like the difficulties that a career like this could, have. And like, I don't even know right now in terms of like music, like what I'm doing with it right now. I'm kind of like, you know what? You were right, Mom. Shit, I should have been a pharmacist.
Man, that's usually Bend It Like Beckham didn't end that way. You know what I mean? Like it was, she was right in pursuing.
We gotta hit him with a to be continued so that you win in the end.
No. I mean, look, I'm fine with my movie. I know how it goes.
Well, because it's like we have Indian friends and we've like we know the pressure, especially from Indian families, Indian parents. The expectations are so high. So that usually when you hear I want to be a rapper, even like for me, I'm doing comedy. My family in Dominican Republic thinks that comedy is like a man dressing up as a woman and doing silly like musical falling out like just weird stuff. So just
my mother tells people I'm still looking for work, and that's not a joke. That's not even a joke.
No, it's good to see that.
I mean, I think, yeah, I think it's been both ways. Like I said, I mean, there's ups and downs of it. I think the support is just there for like when it's good for me and when it is. But yeah, it wasn't necessarily easy. Like I said, I mean, they have expectations from there. Like the other aunties are the ones that they got to think about what are they saying and stuff. And there's no doubt about it. My cousins are all like pharmacist, engineer, doctor, and I'm over here like rapping about like dumplings and shit, you know? And on top of that, like I don't even get to do like the seamless ads where the guy raps about food for like a half an hour. If that one person should have gotten that damn job, it should have been me. Very upset about it.
Okay.
We got to do an ad for like Singer's Pizza. It's like it's too perfect, you know what I mean?
What's that? What is
Singer's Pizza is this fire Indian style pizza place where it's 3 pizzas. They're $5 each. You get 1 topping on each. It's a really sweet dough. It's like an enriched dough, but it's fire, dude. If you're drinking a little bit, you got $25. You got like 4 pies from Singer's.
This is, and they got them now. I think in Williamsburg, they're out on Long Island. But it wasn't even an Indian thing initially. I think it's an Ecuadorian dude that made it, and it was on Main Street in Flushing. And Indian families in Flushing would just pack to go there for these small, like 12-inch pizzas. And then I think an Indian dude poached away the guy from Flushing. They started Belrose Pizza. And that was like, then they started putting Indian shit on the pizza. But nobody wanted that. They just wanted like the old thing. But we could get into food talk as well. I think so much.
Well, we'll do it. Yeah, because I remember the Singer's Pizza I used to go to is when I went to college in Jersey City. There was one on Newark Ave, which is like Little India right there.
Yeah.
And you would go in and be like, what's the famous pizza? And everyone in there would get 3 onion and pepper pizzas. It's like, I don't want to try nothing else. And they're like, nah, fam, we know what we like.
It was like when we found beans at Taco Bell when like vegetarian Indians were like, we don't need to go anywhere else. No,
I'll take a Doritos Locos Tacos filled with beans. Let's do this.
Let's go.
When you look at soccer, do you see, because like Christian mentioned it, like grime and British hip hop is kind of making soccer kind of cool. Like I remember I was in Atlanta, we were waiting in line to go to Magic City, and there was a dude with a Manchester United kit, and I was like, yo, fire kit. And he's like, everyone keeps telling me about this shirt. He's like, I don't even know what it is. It's just a dope drip. And I was like,
I just came here to see booty. I'm getting all these compliments.
Damn, son. I was expecting them to clap, not people to clap for my shirt. You know? But like when now that I'm seeing this, and it's like, soccer jerseys have always been, to me, like the dopest things to wear casually in sports. NBA jerseys, you can't really. NFL jerseys, you can't. Soccer, you could wear them all casually. They look fire. Do you think that's a part of why, like, the hip hop community is being drawn more to soccer?
Yeah, I think it's also just like you said, it's kind of more international. And we live, like I was talking about rap and like locality. We live in a more international world. I mean, you're hearing grime music living in New York, and you know, you're watching teams that are in Italy, and it all kind of just begins to blend. I think what happens with like culture. So, but yeah, the jerseys are a big part of it, especially like stuff like this, like the Korea 2002 World Cup kit, you know?
Yeah, we noticed it. Yeah.
So yeah, drip is it. I'd say like COVID, pretty much drip and donations is where the unemployment checks have gone. You know?
That's right.
100%. Bail funds and drip.
Yeah.
We got more with Heems when you get back after this. Baby, we're back on the Cooligans Living Room FC, and obviously we're here with Heems, rapper, soccer fan, now friend of ours, and there's nothing he can do about it. So we're looking at, you mentioned Stuyvesant High School is. There's millions of famous people with stories about Sty, whether their friends were there, producers they met there, athletes. You traveled very far to go to Stuyvesant, but like, is that where some of maybe the inspiration of Wanna Rap came from? Because it seems like such a hotbed for creative activity.
Well, and before you even answer, so I'm from Brooklyn, and Stuyvesant was the really upper echelon, smart kids school where we're like, yo, you know, like you were intimidated.
You went to Stuyvesant. Yeah.
You were intimidated when you met somebody from there.
LaGuardia is they trying to get into Juilliard.
What?
Stuyvesant is like, they trying to get into Harvard?
Yeah. I wouldn't say Stuyvesant like fostered any creativity in me outside of like math and science. So the hotbed was probably Wesleyan, like where I was around other musicians who were, doing stuff like that. But if I didn't grow up in New York, if I didn't go from like out there in Queens to Tribeca every day, I mean, if I didn't see, Nas stickers in the basketball court, like in the neighborhood, I probably wouldn't have rapped. So I don't know if it was Sty, but it was definitely Queens being this outsider, insider kind of thing that Queens people end up being. But yeah, tech kids kind of hated us because after 9/11, we had to take their school for like a month or so. And they had to come in at 8 a.m. and we had to come in at like 2 p.m. So they were always like angry at us, which in retrospect is like pretty mean because we went through a lot,
Yeah.
But it would always just be like arguments. I think there was a Kennedy or Crown Fried Chicken nearby. This is like 2001, but yeah, it was interesting being around y'all.
One of you mentioned some musical kind of influences. Well, we have Gully Squad, which is our. We should also talk about the word gully, right?
Look at the shirt Christian's wearing.
I'm wearing a shirt. My shirt says gulliest on it. Obviously, gully is we've been doing this show a long time, and a lot of our listeners are not from New York, and they're just like they hear gully, they're like, what the hell are these guys talking about?
Stay safe and stay gully.
Yeah.
So and gully. As New Yorkers, we all know, like, obviously what it means, but gully definitely has there's a Indian kind of background to it, right? Because there's like a movie called Gully
Boy.
Gully Boy. Have you heard about this? He's like,
it was a massive hit. It really ruined all of our SEO.
Oh, word. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
So we were talking about that sort of background about it, but we had a question from Jim Manolius, who is in Gully Squad, and which is our supporters group, and he asked, who are your biggest musical influences? Obviously, when it comes to, you already mentioned Nas, and I imagine we probably share a lot of those same influences, but anybody that stood out?
Probably Biggie was a big one, just by osmosis and just like the range of kind of stuff I would do. Maybe voice-wise, MF Doom's kind of like approach, Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique, De La Soul, Prince Paul, and then I think also, like I said, we were hanging out with more like kind of psychedelic rock musicians at the time too, and so a lot of what we were playing with was, prog rock and like running stuff through tape, and so I don't know. I mean, I like stuff like Television and punk as much. We tried to carry some maybe some of that kind of attitude from punk music into what we did. But I really couldn't tell you. I mean, I feel like for Das Racist, Wonder Chosen was more of an influence than anything musically, really.
Yeah.
And I feel like, it's something that changes. You'll find yourself create something, and then later you'll be like, oh, that sounds kind of like this. But a lot of it works through osmosis. Nobody goes on stage and tries to be like a comedian that they heard, or even realizes like, oh, that's weird that this thing kind of made it into there,
Yeah. It's like a lot of times you'll see a comic riff something and the punchline will be like, ba-ba, ba-ba, ba-ba. And I'm like, yo, you just Dave Attelled up there. Like, you did the same cadence he would have done back in the day. And they're like, oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
It's funny how like your influences just sneak in sometimes.
Yeah, we had another question from Felix Balai. What were and I'm curious about this too. What were your craziest maybe musical experiences? Any crazy shows? Somebody you met? Like how wild did it get with Das Racist?
I mean, up until it's weird because Das Racist broke up. I did my solo thing. I traveled around Asia a lot. I played across like China, Korea, Japan, India, Malaysia. I played in Kathmandu. That was weird. That was dope.
Yeah.
But even up until like 2017 with Sweatshop Boys, we did Colbert Show, we did Coachella. So it's been a lot of just weird things. For me, I think the traveling was just the best part of it. Romania, just these pockets of the world that I would have never gone to, if it wasn't for this music I made. But, playing Carnegie Hall was probably weird. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fire.
Yeah, man.
We were having a conversation once, and I mentioned an old Cuban jazz musician, and you were like, Arturo's dad? And I was like, Yeah, he does everything. Arturo. I'm like, how do you know that? You're like, yo, I played with Arturo in like a 20-piece band or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, wow. I mentioned this obscure, pretty popular, but now obscure Cuban jazz musician, and you're like, I know his kid, played with him. And
Well, it's also just like so much fun to do like improvised jazz stuff when you're like doing the same kind of rap thing for a long time. And so like I haven't made music in a while, so right now it's more about improv and stuff like that in the way that you guys are maybe used to, just kind of riffing in that way instead of like the way I used to.
That's
Okay.
awesome. We also have a question from Brendan Creed, another member of Belly
I don't know what the last thing I said means after I said it, but I'm gonna keep having more coffee.
But it was bars, dude. That's what it was. He wants to know how you became an Arsenal fan, but you mentioned that. But he also asked, do you have a favorite soccer player, and what soccer players do you think do a fake patois?
Oh God.
Besides Drake, who's not a soccer player.
Yeah, I don't know which ones do a fake patois. But I will say, Hector Bellerin is one of my favorites. He I don't know if it's a patois. He has an accent I find to be very interesting and endearing.
No, that dude is from straight up North London.
He is.
He is a Spaniard dropped in North London.
Yeah.
It's so his accent's like no fam. It's like very odd.
I love the way that happens in England, that like your home accent will really blend into a more local language, and like like Shabadi G from London doing like Houndsley versus someone from India doing an accent like out of this neighborhood,
Right.
It's
Very regional. Yeah, it's hard to do a Queens versus Brooklyn accent unless you're a police officer and then you're trained to do both. So everyone thinks you're their friend.
Yeah. I'll also say Ainsley Maitland-Niles because of the bird shit. I mean, I like birds, right? I'm into birding. I made a song called Birdin'. So, seeing the bird catcher, just like the way they're drawn to them, that's an energy that I could really appreciate. So those two, and I hope that they both stick around, which is...
Okay,
if y'all don't know, there's like a very funny video of them just traveling around and they're crossing a bridge, and birds just sort of are attracted to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but like in a very relaxed way, like he's their leader. It's a very odd moment.
I haven't seen this. I got to check this out. It's incredible. All right. So look, a lot more left with Heems. So come right back and join us on the Cooligans right after this. Another show in the books, a hot one. Thank you so much, Heems, for joining us. Everybody, just make sure support and listen to Heems' music on Spotify. You can still find Das Racist on Spotify. So definitely check out his work and show some love. But Heems, is there anything you want to let people know about before we sign off?
No, I have nothing to say, nothing to plug. I'm just going to be hanging out, watching soccer. You can do what he said. You can stream Heems on Bandcamp, but don't look for me on social media. Don't try to talk to me. I'm just hanging out, just focusing on watching soccer. Just leave me alone.
Okay, good. Look at that. He's going to be
You're
watching.
gonna have soccer fans looking for you, though.
I'm in my bunker watching Peacock TV. No, leave me alone.
Tottenham fans are going to be like, why'd you choose Arsenal?
Oh, God, no. What have I done?
So, yeah, shout outs to Heems. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you joining us on the show. Everybody, make sure you follow at Soccer Cooligans on all social media platforms. Hit us up on Twitch. Follow us on Twitch. We do a lot of fun stuff there. Twitch.tv/Soccer Cooligans. Make sure you follow at Fubo Sports and subscribe to the Fubo Sports YouTube channel for full episodes of the program. All right, Heems, let us end the show the way we normally do, as is tradition on the Cooligans. So for Heems, my name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we?
The